This is Kat Bordeaux with Nerd Fanatic Media, and this is Tinfoil Hatz with Tinfoil Kat. We're going to continue talking about Game of Thrones tonight because we are in the home stretch of the ending of Season 6 at the penultimate episode titled Battle of the Bastards. Now, penultimate episodes throughout the series have always been packed full of action. We've had Hardhome, we've had Blackwater, we've had the Red Wedding, and we've had Baylor, which is the episode where Ned was beheaded. So penultimate episodes pack in the most action, whereas season finales tend to move the chess pieces exactly where they should be to set up for the new season. And by the way, there are spoilers in this show. There are absolutely spoilers in this show. So either make sure that you're caught up on the episodes before watching, or just don't care about spoilers. All right, back to theorizing. So Sansa and Jon have just completed their Free Tibet, Take Back the North tour where they're ringing on all the doorbells of the great houses of the North, and it's been less than successful. House Glover in particular is just not too keen on sending more innocent men to die for Ned Stark's headstrong children. He still feels the sting of betrayal from Robb, as he should. Glad that he called it out because nobody else has had the guts to. So, knowing that an army of wildlings and 62 Bear Islanders are not going to be enough to take back Winterfell, Sansa decides to take matters into her own hands and drafts a mysterious letter to an as-of-yet unknown recipient. Or is it? Theories abound about the recipient of this letter and the intention behind it. Many theories speculate that the letter was sent to Peter Baelish because he controls the Knights of the Vale. If this is true, then we can expect a Gandalf the Grey, Deus Ex Machina style scene where the Knights of the Vale come over the hill and save the battle just when we think all is lost. Or Sansa could fully anticipate that Ramsay is going to intercept the Raven, send Bolton forces to the Vale to stop the encroaching army, therefore reducing Bolton numbers, more or less screwing Littlefinger over by planning a surprise attack that is totally unprovoked and that he's completely unprepared for, therefore exacting revenge for wedding her to Ramsay Bolton in the first place. If this is true, it's an incredibly shrewd move on her part. Another theory suggests that the letter was written to Howland Reed, and because we've been introduced to him at the Tower of Joy, and his daughter, Mira Reed, has been such an MVP this season, it's not that far-fetched to believe. Also, according to book lore, House Reed their army is comprised of these like guerrilla-style mercenaries with rogue tactics like poison arrows and traps, and they fight in bogs and swamps, and they're ripped and really, really violent. So that would be a huge strong arm against the Boltons if that is the case. Still, others speculate that the letter was sent to the Blackfish and that he is going to answer with Tully forces. I feel like this is a little redundant considering that Brienne is in River Run delivering a letter asking exactly that of the Blackfish. But others still speculate that the Blackfish did not die in the last episode and that he will answer the call and show up to save the day. If that's the case, then I'm sure that Tully forces will add numbers to the Stark forces, but ultimately I think the bulk of it is going to be made up of the Knights of the Vale. In any case, it's going to be a very bloody episode, so let's talk a potential death pool now. I feel like it goes without saying that Ramsay Bolton is going to die this episode, with the killing blow most likely being delivered by Jon. However, how satisfying would it be if Sansa were the one to deliver the killing blow? I can't think of a more fitting way to seal the deal on her transformation from manipulated pawn to power player than to have her kill that bastard herself. After all, she's been at his mercy. No one else has, except for Theon, obviously. Jon's, received a taunting letter from him? He has no idea who Ramsay is. I don't know. This probably won't happen, but it would be very, very satisfying if it did. And if Ramsay is not fed to the hounds, then the showrunners really dropped the ball. In any case, I will be very sad to see that actor go because he's beautiful, and I loved the element of wickedness that he added to the show. Now let's consider Stark casualties. Ramsay is way too sadistic to let Rickon live. We probably know that. But I think it's likely that he will have kept him alive, at least until this episode. And I think he's going to probably murder him in front of Jon and Sansa. Still, others tend to speculate that while we don't really know how long Rickon has actually been in captivity, that during this time he's kind of been turned into like a Reek prototype. A lot of people believe this because in the books, Theon was not Ramsay's first Reek. So apparently he can manufacture Reeks. Recon? Recon. I don't know. I don't really know if that's going to happen because, he's a tough little kid, but he's not making it out of this episode alive. Sorry. I mean, he's basically plotless at this point. He's had zero story for pretty much the entirety of the series. They're not going to give him a happy ending now. He's cannon fodder. Sorry. I also think this episode might see the death of at least one or more well-known characters. Okay, the scenario. The wildlings are not familiar with Westerosi combat at all. You can even see in the trailer where the Boltons are advancing, they've got their shields and their pikes, and the wildlings just look panicked and confused. They don't know what's going on. They don't really know how to fight this style of combat. So one of the wildlings probably is going to die. And Tormund at this point is protected by fan service armor because of the interactions that he's been given with Brienne. However, 1-1 the Giant is fair game at this point, I think. And also, he's a little bit of a strain on the CGI budget, which I think the showrunners are going to need if they're going to be packing season 7 full of dragons and whites. I mean, they've been killing off dire wolves left and right, so I don't see the Giant making it out of the season alive. Sorry. Still more theories suggest, and this one makes me very sad, that Davos might not be long for this world because he's basically run out of story at this point. He's endeared himself to Shireen, sure. He's secured the fighting men from Lyanna Mormont with that same ease with precocious young ladies, but what more does he have to do at this point? He's been an advisor to Jon, but if Sansa sits the North Throne, then she's never going to listen to him because she doesn't trust him. He's basically just a wise old mentor, and story convention demands that he dies. I'm sorry, I don't like it any more than you do, but it's going to happen. He's basically Obi-Wan Kenobi at this point. But if he does die, he won't die without doing two things first. 1, learning the truth about what happened to Shireen, and 2, exacting revenge on the people that were responsible for her death. And because Stannis is dead, he can't exact revenge on Stannis. But Melisandre is still hanging around, so maybe that'll happen. Let's go ahead and add her name to the death pool. Maybe not in this episode, but definitely by the next episode. So I'm super excited about the next episode, and I can't wait. After the battle is done and the dust has settled, I will do a post-mortem on the episode, and we'll talk about it. Until then, I'm Kat Bordeaux. This has been Tinfoil Hatz with Tinfoil Kat. Come and see, bastard. Come and see.